in the first-floor gallery of the St. Louis Art Museum hangs Matisse's large-scale 71.5 by 87-inch oil painting, Bathers with a Turtle. It is considered to be one of the most influential paintings of the 20th century and changed the course of art for the rest of history. Although this massive portrait of 3 bathing women and a small red turtle hangs on the walls in St. Louis, Missouri, it would not be there if it wasn't for the looting of the Nazi soldiers during World War II. In 1937, the Nazis created an art exhibition specifically dedicated to ridiculing the art and smothering artists' ability to express themselves. They classified these artworks as degenerate and put them on display to be laughed at and auctioned off. This particular masterpiece, created by a very passionate expressionist of the 20th century, was stolen by the Nazis and bought by an American newsman in auction. One's ability to express themselves as an individual is significant in preserving and shaping history as a whole, and that is why Hitler was so adamant about destroying Matisse's reputation and credibility as an artist. Henri Matisse's art career began in a rather unusual way. While sick with appendicitis, his mother brought him art supplies, and the rest is history. From that moment forward, Henri Matisse knew that his passion was painting. Quickly, he became very proficient and went on to be one of the best artists of his time. Henri Matisse is widely regarded as the greatest colorist of the 20th century and as a rival to Pablo Picasso in the importance of his innovations. He emerged as a post-impressionist and first achieved prominence as the leader of the French movement, Fauvism. He sought out to use color as the foundation for expressive, decorative, and often monumental paintings. As he once wrote, he strived to create art that would have a soothing, calming influence on the mind, rather like a good armchair. Still life and the nude remain favorite subjects throughout his career. This can be seen throughout his painting, Bathers with a Turtle. While Matisse's career can be divided stylistically into many different periods, his goal always remained to discover the essential character of things and produce art full of balance, purity, and serenity. Early on in his career, Matisse established himself as an artist. He defied the rules of art by disregarding perspective, throwing shadows out of the window, and not defining the difference between line and color. He was a modern artist who strived to create art that was moving away from the traditional 3 dimensions. Matisse's defiance to conform to the norms of art greatly influenced the people of his time. Bathers with a Turtle is composed of a 3-layered background, 3 women, and a small red turtle. The complexity of this piece emphasizes Matisse's expressionist views as an artist and defies the laws of traditional art. Unlike the classical portrayal of women, the bathers in this piece have lumpy, oblong bodies. The simple structure of the background gives this painting a more surreal vibe because there is no definite land, water, and sky. The representation of the 3-layered background, along with the 3 women bathing, creates many different perspectives and emotions in the audience. This allows the audience to interpret and imagine a whole new reality outside of the norm. The interaction between women and turtle represent much more than what meets the eye. The woman appears to be feeding the turtle, thus creating a symbol of eternity. Bathers with a Turtle became a timeless symbol of modernism and was very influential because it stepped outside of the box and revolutionized a new era for art. Matisse says that a painter who addresses the public not just in order to present his works, but to reveal some of his ideas on the art of painting exposes himself. This exposure of Matisse shows how far he is willing to go as an artist to create something exquisite and push the boundaries of art. Matisse's vulnerability as an artist inspired a movement of expressionism that opened the door, allowing many other artists to explore this mind-opening style.
The rise of the Third Reich, led by none other than Hitler himself, was devastating to the art world. Anything modern, controversial, expressive, or just plain un-German was considered a crime against art. Hundreds of works formerly looked up to and respected were harshly condemned as degenerate. But why was there such a focus put on art, at all if the goal was to conquer the world. Hitler, although a power-seeking, bloodthirsty tyrant, was politically very clever. His goal was to create a utopia with perfect people and perfect ideas. He used concentration camps to achieve his first goal and get rid of the inferior race. Art he used to achieve the second, ideals. When someone looks at a piece of art depicting someone as a heroine, protector, and leader, it automatically instills faith in that individual. Hitler harnessed this power to build himself up in the eyes of the people he wanted to control. Expressionism defied everything Hitler believed in. He wanted people to think a certain way and abide by certain rules. Expressionism broke through the rules of Hitler's ideal art expression and opened up a whole new world for the viewer, allowing them to think deeper and evaluate life from the artist's unique perspective. This was dangerous for Hitler. Perfect ideals do not come from people having different perspectives. Hitler wanted art to depict the world as he saw it, and if it did not, he deemed it the work of an insane person. This made anyone who agreed with their perspective sound insane as well. Matisse was one of the many renowned, respected artists that was deemed degenerate. His pieces made an appearance in the Museum of Degenerate Art to be disrespected and discredited. Bathers with a Turtle, although still marked as degenerate, was spared this fate. After being stolen by the Nazis, it was brought to Switzerland for an auction held by the Third Reich to raise money for the war. It was bought by Joseph Pulitzer Jr., a renowned newsman from St. Louis, Missouri, and brought back to America where its influence was welcome. In America, it was no longer smothered by superior ideas, but placed in the St. Louis Museum of Art to be displayed with honor. Throughout Hitler's campaign, he oppressed, disrespected, and even destroyed art that held monumental historical significance. Using the power of art, he manipulated people's worldview and squelched all individualism. Bathers with the Turtle is safe today because Joseph Pulitzer Jr. recognized the profound influence this piece had and knew the world still needed it. If not for Pulitzer, who knows if this piece would even still exist. Without this piece, we would be missing a huge cultural icon, missing the piece that influenced and ushered in a new era of art, missing the unique perspective of a brilliant man, and missing the inspiration that it has yet to bring. Today, Bathers with a Turtle is hung proudly for all the world to see. People are free to let this piece speak to them and inspire them. That is what art is all about, not harnessing its power for manipulation, but letting it flow freely into the world, inspiring greatness.